All right, welcome guys to the second episode of the weekly art podcast, Inked in Fear. Today we are going to be doing Sam from Trick or Treat. So same as last week in terms of supplies. This one will be straight ink, no watercolor. So you're just gonna need ink, so ink pens or a brush or nib, whatever you're using. I like to use this thicker watercolor paper because it takes the ink really well. And then I'm going to sketch out here in pencil. I'm going to use a red pencil just because it's what I got on hand right now. And we're going to start. And what we're going to do is have this one kind of to be a bit of a framed image. So what we're going to do is have kind of like a rough idea of a shape. So what I want to do is take the pumpkin. Okay, I'll show you here. So what I want to do is I want to take, oops, let me fix where he is. So I want to take this pumpkin, okay, from the movie, and what I do is I want to have that be the base, and then have the flames come up to define the border of what the image is, and then we're going to put Sam coming out of those flames inside the pumpkin. So the scale is going to be changed and stuff like that. We're going to take elements from this scene and then put it, and then in the flames behind Sam we might have some of the Trick or Treat writing stuff. I don't know yet if we're going to do that part, but we are going to do it with the pumpkin and then him in the flames of the pumpkin. So with that in mind and being said, let's get going. So like I said, first I'm going to kind of map out where we think the flames are going to go, kind of just roughly where I want it to end and start. And this is not going to be the shape of the flames. This is just for me to kind of get an idea for scale. And then I want the pumpkin to be probably, I'm going to end it around here. So I'm going to say that I want this pumpkin probably be that big, maybe a little smaller. Maybe we'll go around this size. And red's nice to draw in actually too, with these color erase, these Prismacolor mark. I mean, I think they're a lot of times used for marking and stuff like that, but they're actually not bad for drawing. It's easier to see against pencil lines. So I'm kind of planning out the pumpkin a bit more here now. So I'll go ahead and I'll erase some of this for you guys. Let me get a better eraser though. So there'll be so there's not going to be any foreground or any background. This pumpkin's not really sitting anything. Really, this thing will wind up to be outlined like as if it was going to be on like a t-shirt or something like that. And it may be, who knows, or a variation of it maybe. So we're going to have the pumpkin here, and then I want to keep the shape of the flame. And something that you'll find when you look at fire is that, you know, that way of looking at it like it's all curved, like that everything is coming off like, you know, like this, that's actually not really how it is. It's much blockier if you kind of look back at it. And I like to keep it blocky because I think it adds a bit of a unsettling element to the fire. Okay. And the reason also too I said that this would be good for like a printer, or not a print, but like a t-shirt or something like that, is that this is very static because everything is kind of going up and down. There's not going to be anything in this that's really breaking this plane. So this really is going to be set up to be more of like, this could go on like a shirt or like a logo type thing. Because typically if we were doing this like using the whole page and whatever, we'd want to have something like last week where we had stuff going across and breaking those planes and not having everything up and down. Because when it's all up and down like this, it can get boring. So make this pumpkin just a touch bigger to go with the flames. we go. And that can come down. That will go like this. There we go. Okay. And then the face of the pumpkin is going to come around here. And then your mouth is going to come around. The middle of it would be around there. So we can mark where the top and the bottom of the teeth or the stitched face thing will be, right like that. Something like that. And then the X's for the eyes will fall right in here. And then those are like this. Kind of almost like throwing stars. Okay. Like this. Right in there. Okay, so we've got the eyes. So then, just so we're all on the same page here, gang. So then I'm going to take this out so you see exactly what the eye is. Okay, and then I'll do the same thing for everybody for the mouth. So the mouth is here between these guides. Okay. And then what it is for the stitches, they're all oval shapes. So we're just going to have elongated ovals here. And I'm not worried about being accurate to the photo here or anything like that in terms of like how many I'm putting in. I'm just kind of sizing what I think would look good. And then I'm trying to keep them as uniform as I can so it's easier to ink later. Okay, so then that would, so then this comes out. There you go. If you're wondering what the music in the background is, I don't know if you can totally hear it or not, but it is from White Bat Audio. And I use them for a lot of my background music because they have pretty cool mixes and stuff that's a little more my speed versus some of the lo-fi stuff that you usually get optioned. So we're going to get this pumpkin marked out for where we're going to put the seams of the pumpkin. Here. One's here. We should really have one come down. One here. One here. One there. I almost think actually it should be like this. No, it shouldn't. Yeah, we'll leave that. We'll leave that one. We won't do that one, guys. Let me back that up just a touch. There we go. Okay, so pumpkin grooves are marked out. Okay. So there's our little pumpkin thing from Trick or Treat. Okay. And then what we'll do is we're going to have a Sam inside this. So I'm just going to sharpen my pencil. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to have Sam like this here. Okay, and then we're going to draw this torso. We're gonna have to move that a bit, or we'll move the flame is what we'll do, so that we can fit him in there. chewed or is bitten out of. Lollipop there. Okay, and then the other hand just stays at the side. And then the clothes are kind of baggy. And then on this side, we'll pop it out more like this. And then at the base of the face, you're going to have the burlap is going to create some tension where it's tied. You're going to put a little loop in. He's got his knot in there, and then you got two little ends of string that come off, and then he's got rough burlap that we can have some fun with here and use some of that, more of those fun angles. And then this is a full onesie, so it's gonna go like this, and it's kind of baggy, so where you actually don't see the feet separate until the very end. And then Sam has convenient feet to do, because they're just little scoops like this, because they're all covered up with the baggy pajamas. What actually we'll do is we'll put one out more like that, and those come in like that, and we'll do the same thing for this. And then this is baggy. That one eraser's got a smudge and I keep using it. Okay, so we're gonna get rid of this. We're gonna get rid of some of these marks here and here and in there. Okay, so then what we'll do is we get some of these folds going. Okay. And then get the hand. And then lollipops set up fine like that. And then on this side, we're going to get some of these folds in. And then that hand can go to the side. And really, we don't even need to put anything for definition into this hand, really. We can put a thumb, but that's really all we need. And then he's got a patch that's sewn on here. So we'll make sure that's known that that's patched. And then this is all bunched up because it's oversized. So you can put some folds in there. And then crease here. Now for the face, right down the middle, he's got a stitch or a seam, okay? And it has a seam going this way. And what that leads up to, okay, right across, is the seam for his mouth, which goes the other way. Okay, Okay, and then this head seam does not continue down past that, so it goes right to there, right to there. And then he's got the button eyes, okay, with the X. And they're further apart than you. This one's actually a little too far, but they're not right where you would put eyes. They're just slightly apart, and that's to make it off-putting, I'm sure. Or seem like other than. Okay, and then on this side, we're gonna do this. And then go like this. All right. Go. Okay, so and he's just going to be floating. He's not standing on anything. He's just appearing in the fire. So we don't need to add any type of background or whatever. I was thinking originally that I would clutter this up with the letters. I think that would actually be worse. I think it is going to be cooler if we have it where it's just the fire and then he's sitting in the fire. And yeah, I almost want to put a little piece of fire coming off here. Maybe something that comes and disconnects there, just to break it up a bit more. Do you put one in here too? Just like that. Yeah. Okay, so I think we're okay for this part, so we can probably get going to the inking. So today I'm going to use a pen because this is there's some small stuff on this, and I do not have the hand control to be doing it with a brush. I also don't think I have a brush that's small enough. Let's see what we got here. What size do I want? No. I think a one's. A one might be okay. So yeah, I'm going to use a 1, and it's a Micron. Yeah, that's the right size. So I'm very carefully outlining the X here and coloring in the negative space so that the sewing on the button is what's visible. There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to go, and I'm just going to go and do a bunch of, my hand is very loose here right now on the pen. I'm not gripping it tight at all. We're going to get that, and then we're going to put a little bit of hatching in here because it's that burlap. And we want to give this a bit of texture. Especially because the burlap is part of the charm here with Sam. And what we can do is kind of break that up a little bit. There, that line. And then for these guys, I'm just going to get a close-up for 1 second on his face so that I have a match for the suture pattern, or a rough match. Let's see. Here we go. Okay, so they're kind of a crisscross. Oh, and this does continue. So this can keep going all the way down. Okay, this. just like that, we'll go across. And then we'll just add around the eye there, just a tiny bit of like detail, just kind of imply that there's some tension around the eye where it's sewn in. And then with the burlap here, actually what we should do is get the rope tied in. So there's that rope that comes around, and then there's that knot. And then there's one strand, and there's another strand, and then we're gonna have a curve going around those for the rope, and then a curve going around here for the rope. And then that side we don't really need to worry about it because it's already cluttered. We're gonna get the rip here. Okay. And then kind of put a little bit of bits of detail there. And then we're going to go around the edge here. And I just kind of follow what we did because we had enough with the penciling that we're not going to worry too much about creating a lot of new lines on top of what we had. And I'm not going to be adding in a ton of shadow or anything because he's in the middle of a fire, and I think that wouldn't really make sense. But we will get the folds in. That's tied in. And then this is a circle with a big bite coming out. And then the X. And then there you go. So we know it's the same guy. Okay, and then this side, we're going to get that leg in. Get this hand. I've got the patch. There we go. Just like I said, I'm going to follow a lot of what I already have for these folds. We got a little bit of scuffs and stuff on these shoes. And just put a little bit of stuff there. Okay, and then for the pumpkin, we're going to get a bigger marker pen here. I think I got a brush pen here. There we go. Yeah, we're going to use a brush pen. So what I'm going to do for this, yeah, right like that. I'm going to go very gently here. And I'm going to go same thing. And I'm using my shoulder, okay, for this. My wrist is staying still. And my hand slides. There you go. Okay, so pumpkin. And then I've got a different one I want to use here. There's a take the 8. Get these eyes in. One, 2, 3. Keep doing these. And these are just ovals. All right, like that, guys. Okay, and then we're going to go over the edge like this, and these will have just tiny little bit of a curve, okay, just because it's a rounded top where the pumpkin is. And we're gonna put a little bit of hatching there, but it's gonna be kind of light because realistically that'll be the brightest part of the pumpkin. And what we're gonna do is where the darkest part is, which will be down here, we're gonna go a little bit stronger with the hatching that we wind up doing. So I'm gonna go in there right like that, and I'm gonna do a bunch. Okay. Okay, so there we go. So we still got the fire to do. And the brush, I don't want to use again because I'm going to probably toss it. Because I think that it's too frayed. But I've got this big 30, size 30 brush. And it's got a chisel edge. So the chisel edge I think will be good for doing the fire anyway. So we'll go ahead and use that for that. Oops. Okay, and then this side here. Like that, down there, and then what we'll do is we're going to do a bigger border around this pumpkin. Like that. This one, same thing there. Oops, I have to make that part thick because I fucked that up, guys, sorry. I'm gonna make it the width of this now. flip it for the other side. All right. Oh, geez, I forgot one here. There. Okay, and then we'll go and we'll just make sure we got the right part of our eraser, no smudge, and we'll just lightly erase that red pencil. Let's clean this up. There we go. That, and then let's get Sam here. Okay. Okay, guys, so there you go. That's how you do Sam from Trick or Treat. And then what I'll probably do from this, honestly, is I'm probably just going to scan this, throw it into Procreate, and then probably put a white border around the black border, make it like kind of like a sticker, or something like that. Color it, and we'll probably work a little bit more on that. But there you go. So thanks for joining me on another episode of Inked in Fear. Next week we will draw, guess what? Another horror guy. So we will see you then. So be cool to each other. Like, subscribe, follow, share, all that stuff, guys. And once again, thank you, and take it easy.